Now, I've ran into a lot of crazy things. Dead animals, diapers, what I thought was a 10-foot turd. I've seen things that no one should ever see. And today, I'm gonna get real and tell them to you. So I'm gonna save the best one for last, of course, because it was me running a sewer camera down a sewer after we had cleaned out another stoppage. So what we found was pretty wild. And to be honest, I wish that I still had the video. But one of the very first things that I ever found that I was just like, what the heck is this? And it wasn't too bad because I'd been trying to clean out a lady's lavatory was draining slow. And the way it was plumbed, I was pretty sure that it was tied into the bathtub, but I couldn't get it to drain. And I kept plunging it. I kept running in a little snake, and the little snake just get in there and get clogged up. So I ended up running a big retrieval spring down through the roof. And I thought, well, maybe it's a rag or something. I can grab it and pull it back. Now, I had been on this job going through the lavatory sink for probably an hour now. I'd taken the P-trap off. I'd run it through. Sometimes that little snake would even go through far enough where I'm like, okay, I think I got it. Well, once I did the retrieval spring from the top and pulled it up, and guys, this is before we carried cameras and everything with us in our pockets. But I pull this snake up through the roof, and I mean, it's tough. It's like I'm fighting something all the way up. And I pull it up, and it was a squirrel. Now, my retrieval spring had like gone around his lower body and grabbed him, and you could see where my little other cable was going around him, or it looked like it because it was just like a scarry mess down one side. But literally, I pull out this squirrel, and all I'm assuming is that he had gone down during the wintertime, got stuck down there. I guess he's looking to stay warm, or maybe he dropped a nut down in there and he was going to get his nut. I have no idea. I pulled that thing up, and I am literally, I mean, the first thing I thought was, this is just nasty. By the time I got there, there was like no hair on it. It just looked like this gray, slimy mess. And it was still moist or damp because, of course, there's been water sitting on it. They've been trying to run that drain, and they'd run it for a while. And I guess eventually the water had come down around it. But that is one of the grossest things that I've ever seen in my life. And it was just, it was horrible. But I got it up, got it off, and I didn't even want to show the homeowner. They're like, no, I want to see it. And they saw it. And I mean, this lady started puking because she was like, no way. Not very good. Not very much fun. But that is probably one of the worst things that I've ever seen. Now, I've done other ones where I've seen birds down in there. Now, again, I have no idea why. I don't know if they're setting up on top and they looked down in there and they thought, hey, that piece of corn looks good. I don't know. I have no idea why a bird would go down in there like that. But again, maybe trying to stay warm. Another gross one was a call I got from another plumber. He's like, Roger, you got to come see this house. Now, it was way outside of my service area. I really didn't want to. But he said, Roger, look, I'm not even going to send you any pictures. I'm just going to tell you that this thing is plumbed in such a way that it will blow your mind. I've never seen this. So I'm like, you know what? Let's go. Let's shoot a video. And I've got it. You can go search worst plumbing video ever. And I go over there and I am blown away. There is Uponor pipe, there's PEX pipe, there's all kinds of stuff. It's all exposed. It's hanging below the ceilings. It's tied up to ceiling fans. It is literally just running down the back of a wall, and then they're knocking a hole in the wall to stub a pipe through. This is one of the craziest things I've ever seen. And I did. I went over there and I shot that video, not even believing it when I saw it. So to get over there and see it, and to see the way that, I mean, the piping was not just overhead, not just through the walls, but also under the cabinets. And when I got to the water heater area, I was like, oh my gosh, this is pure crazy. Guys, if you hadn't seen that video, go check it out. It's worth it. But wait till you get to this next gross thing. I had cleaned out a sewer line, and we always did a deal where we ran a camera down afterwards. You don't think anything about it. You're running it down just to make sure, hey, is the blockage gone? Is there any mess? Did we leave anything? And we got this blockage cleared out, and the sewer had been stopped up. So it was literally a good solid blockage. We got it cleared out, And then after we got it to go down, we started to hydrojet it. But before we hydrojet it, we thought, you know what, we're going to go ahead and run a camera down it just to get a good look at it. And it's a pretty long sewer. They had a really long yard, a really big front yard. So I run this camera down of the two-way clean out. And again, I'm not recording. But I run this camera down and I'm going back. And I get back to an area that we haven't been in before. We cleaned out everything from above. We tried the two-way clean outs. I mean, we have literally been on this job for a little while. And we start running this camera down from the two-way clean out once we have the blockage out to see, because we know about where the blockage was. And we run this camera down, and all of a sudden I'm looking at these eyeballs looking at me. And I'd go a little further and it'd back up a little bit. And I'd go a little further and it'd back up a little bit. And every now and then it'd come to me. If I'd sit there for a little bit, it'd come forward. Never thought to hit record. And I kicked myself in the tail for that. But literally, I finally kept going and it started backing up, and then it fell off into the bigger sewer line. And I realized that it was just sitting right there and coming right back up in there. Now, I don't know if it had built a dam to keep a dry spot. I don't know what it had done. But this rat, this big old, I mean, I'm in a 4-inch line and this thing is about this big around. How he got in there without getting stuck, sometimes I still think about that. But the crazy thing is that whenever I'd go down and drop the camera head down in there, I couldn't see him. So he was either one side or the other of it, but he knew that he could climb up in there and go back that direction. But it was really crazy because you don't expect to see eyeballs down there. You don't expect to see them looking back at you. And you sure don't expect to see them crawl out and just go back and forth like they were dancing with the camera. That is probably one of the craziest things I've ever seen. But it also was a lot of fun because at that point, once you realize what it is, you're laughing. You're like, okay, how does this work? Now, I've seen things, animals stuck in a two-way clean out, like a rat getting down in there and getting stuck. But just you see all kinds of different stuff. But at the end of the day, animals can get into your plumbing system. Now, I've seen videos of snakes in the toilet and things like that, which that would be the grossest for me. Can you imagine lifting the toilet lid and looking down in there and seeing a snake in your bowl? That would scare the mess out of me. To be honest, I wouldn't have to go then. Anyway, guys, look, if you're a plumber and you've ever seen anything crazier than this, especially if you've got videos or pictures, please go to subreddit, Roger Wakefield posts, put them there. I'd love to put them in a video. If you're a DIY or a homeowner and you've seen crazy stuff, I'd love to hear from you too. To my channel members, y'all are the real backbone of everything we do and of this community. Thank you for supporting the trades and keeping this thing growing. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. And if you've already subscribed, make sure you ring the bell. And if you like this video, I really think you're going to like this one.